Help me reach 5,000 subscribers. Support the video with a like and leave your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. Thank you. She reached past me for the coffee like I was part of the cabinet. No glance, no mourning, just her sleeve brushing my arm. The phone in her hand didn't leave her line of sight. Notifications lit her face. I stood there with 2 mugs and a plan for the weekend, and she acted like I was a chair. Saturday, I was thinking we'd drive up to the state park. I started. She opened the fridge. I'll handle lunch. We can take the trail by the river. She took out almond milk and shut the door. I'm busy. With what? She looked at the calendar on the wall, then at me as if I'd stepped into frame uninvited. It's not locked down yet. That's not an answer. She poured the milk and walked to the sink. The phone pinged again. She smiled at it, not at me. I set the mugs down. Rachel, what's going on? Nothing. I'm just booked. Booked all weekend. She checked the time. Can we not do this before 8? There are a lot of ways to say you don't matter. That one has economy. I shut the cabinet door a little too softly because I know what real anger looks like, and it wasn't going to be in my kitchen at 7:05 a.m. If I'd known where it was headed, I would have started counting the days right then. Instead, I tried to be reasonable like a grown man who still believed common sense could fix indifference. I waited until after work. I grilled chicken, set the table, and kept it simple. Sit, I told her. Eat, then talk. She took her plate to the couch and turned on a show. I joined her with mine. We ate in the light of people laughing about problems that solve themselves in 22 minutes. Rachel, I tried again. If you need space, say it. If I've dropped a ball, tell me which one. She muted the show. Why are you taking everything so personally? I'm married to you. That's the gig. She laughed once. You're fine. That means nothing. You're fine means you're fine. You're overthinking. I'm reacting to you, not reacting to me. She unmuted the TV. Can we table this? I reached for the remote and paused it. No, I've been patient. A full day of silent shrugs is not adult communication. She stared at my hand on the remote. You're making this heavy. I'm making it direct. What do you want? A baseline. A good morning. A response when I talk. A plan for Saturday that isn't vapor. She leaned back. You always want a plan. It's exhausting. Then say you want spontaneity. We'll be spontaneous at 10 o'clock Saturday morning. Her lips pinched. You corner everything with your schedules. I hold things together with them. That's different. She set the plate down. Maybe if you weren't so rigid, I'd feel. I don't know, closer. There it is, I said. Closer is on the other side of me changing. How convenient. It's not a trap, she shot back. You asked what I want. Okay, here's what I want. Honesty. If you're using distance to push me into playing your game, say so. If not, prove it by meeting me halfway. Eric, you always make me defend myself. I'm asking you to show up. She paused, something calculating behind her eyes. Fine. Saturday. But I'm not hiking. My knees. We can do the boardwalk, I offered. Flat, only 2 miles. Maybe. I'll check. No maybe. Yes or no. She stood, grabbed her plate, and walked to the sink. I'll let you know. That was day 1 of the month where my wife measured me in seconds of attention, and I kept trying to buy more with reason. Stupid trade. But you don't quit on your marriage because someone forgets to say good morning. You test the foundation. You lean on it. You see if it holds. By the following weekend, I had a new rule. No guessing games. I posted it plainly and out loud. We were in the garage because she'd come out there to find a cooler and walk through me like I was extra storage. Pause, I told her. New policy. If you need something, use words. If you're upset, say the subject. I'm done decoding. She held the cooler lid halfway. What are you even talking about? You rerouted conversation for 7 days. I'm putting in traffic signs. She rolled her eyes. Do you hear yourself? Loud and clear. You. She pretended to search the shelf. You're being dramatic. I'm giving feedback. Response required. She finally looked at me. You're doing that tone again. Adult tone. Teacher tone. Fine. I leaned on the workbench, wiped my hands on a rag. Do you want this marriage to feel like a team or a timesheet where I clock in until you notice me? That's an unfair choice. It's accurate. Her phone buzzed. She checked it, thumb flicking fast. I'm late. Tessa needs me. Tessa needs you more than your husband? She paused at the door. She's going through something. So are we. Eric, I can't be everywhere at once. Not asking for everywhere. Asking for the kitchen. I'll be back later. Define later. She shrugged and left. 2 hours after dark, she came home with the same casual neutrality, but her tone sharpened when I didn't jump up. "You're still out here?" she asked, stepping over an extension cord. "It's where the tools are," I replied. "Also, I'm not a welcome guest in the living room tonight. Don't put words in my mouth. I'd love to hear some actual ones." "Fine. You're pushing. I'm clarifying. You make everything a performance. You make everything a mystery." I folded the rag. "All right. Initiatives then." She crossed her arms. "What now?" "From tomorrow, I'm shifting Saturdays to the gym and my buddy's shop. I'll handle my meals. You handle yours. Shared calendar gets real entries, not maybe. And if you want me at an event, you invite me in advance. No implied duties. So you're punishing me? I'm setting clean edges. You dislike my teacher tone? Here's a new format. Short, clear, no drama. That's how it'll be until respect feels mutual again." "Wow. Anything unclear?" She stared me down, then smiled, cool and practiced. "Have fun at the shop. Count on it." 2 days into those rules, she softened. Mid-morning, she put a mug by my elbow while I sorted sockets. "Coffee," she said. "Extra strong." I looked at it, then at her. "Thanks. I'm trying," she added. "Good. Keep going." She hovered. "About Saturday. I can do the boardwalk. Maybe lunch after. I've got the gym and Jake's. We can do Sunday afternoon. Sunday I'm wiped. Then we'll aim next weekend. Put it on the calendar." Her smile flickered. "If you booked us a weekend away, I'd probably feel more, connected." "There it is again," I answered. "Attention for purchase. Pass." Her soft look hardened. "I'm offering a solution." "You're offering a condition," I corrected. "Solutions stand on their own. Conditions need tribute." She shrugged like it didn't matter and left the mug behind. I sipped it anyway, because I'm not petty. But I wrote down the play: small sweetness when the balance shifts, followed by a price tag. Jake noticed the change before anyone. He owns a small auto shop, the kind of place where work means sweat and a joke lands because you earned it. At noon, he nodded at my phone on the workbench. "You ignoring the world, or just the buzz?" "Resetting my priorities," I told him, tightening a clamp. "That code for trouble at home. It's code for I'm back to respecting my time. The rest will align, or it won't." He whistled. "You good?" "I will be." "She know that?" "She will." He tossed me a wrench. "You running with us Friday?" "Mike's bringing the grill." "I'm in." He clapped the fender. "Good. Bring your quiet face and leave your apology face. We're fresh out of sympathy." I laughed. "That's why I like this place." That night, Rachel tried humor. We were at our neighbor Clara's backyard thing, paper plates and folding chairs, and Rachel was loud enough to draw the semicircle. "Eric's idea of a date is stopping at the hardware store," she told Clara, waving her wine. "He gets romantic when there's a coupon." Clara groaned in sympathy she hadn't earned. 2 other neighbors smiled, polite but hungry for the show. That's another way to say you don't matter. Turn a room into a jury. I took a beat, ate a forkful of potato salad, and then set my plate down. "New boundary," I said calmly, not bothering to raise my voice. "We're not doing jokes about our marriage for a laugh. Not here, not in any yard." Clara blinked. Rachel opened her mouth. "It was a joke," she said, toneless. "Call it what you want," I replied. "Public undercuts in now." "You're being sensitive." "No," I corrected. "I'm showing you the line." Clara held up both hands. "Hey, I didn't mean." "It's fine," I told her. "Enjoy your night." Rachel leaned in. "So I'm not allowed to tease you?" "You want to tease? Keep it between us. I'll return the favor." "Wow," she said again, her word of the month. I turned to Clara. "Thanks for the food. I'm heading out." "Already?" Clara asked, eyes wide. "Yep." I drove separate. Rachel's eyebrows shot up. "You what?" "I drove separate," I repeated. "So either you come with me or you have your night, and we'll talk later." She let the silence stretch, testing if I'd melt. I didn't. She had an audience, but I'd given them a lesson. Boundaries don't need volume, just enforcement. Rachel stayed. I left. At the stop sign, I exhaled and felt the first clean breath I'd had in 2 weeks. And yes, the phone lit up before I hit the end of our street. "You embarrassed me," her text read. I parked in our driveway and typed back, "Mockery is a choice. So is leaving." She didn't respond. The next morning, she acted like nothing happened, humming to music only she could hear while she scrubbed a pan. Sunday. I reminded her, not looking up from the paper. We still doing something? She rinsed the pan. I thought you were at the shop. I was. I'm home now. I'm tired. Then rest. I'll be out back. That's passive-aggressive. No, it's me not begging. She sighed theatrically. Fine. Let's do coffee. Let's do silence, I answered. Real silence. No games. You sit. I sit. Start with that. We sat. 2 mugs. 1 table. 0 honesty. She looked at her phone every 90 seconds. I looked at the backyard light I still hadn't replaced and decided it could wait forever. By week 3, I'd stopped inviting her to anything. It wasn't anger. It was good logistics. At work, Mike leaned into my office doorframe. You're free Friday? Jake's grilling, then cards. I'm there. You bringing Rachel? No. He grinned carefully. All right. What? You look lighter. Boundaries will do that. You want to talk about it? I already did, I told him, with the one person who needed to hear it. She didn't like the terms. Fair enough, he said, pushing off the doorframe. For what it's worth, you handle this like a grown man. That's the goal. That Friday, in Jake's yard, it was simple. Smoke in the air, paper plates, trash talk about who folds first in cards. My phone stayed on the picnic table face down. When it did vibrate, I let it dance. Not going to check. Jake asked. I'm off duty. You live there, he said quietly. Not for her head count. Damn, he murmured. That's strong. It's the only thing left. By the time I drove home, the porch light was off, the door unlocked, the living room quiet. She was there, though, on the couch with the lamp, looking like the scene from a magazine about calm domestic life. I almost laughed. How was your boys' night? She asked, pleasant. I ate meat and lost at cards. Fun. She patted the cushion. Come sit. I stayed standing, leaning on the back of a chair. All right. I miss you, she said, sending the words into the room like a test balloon. Do you? She nodded. I've been stressed. Work. Family. It's not about you. That's the new angle, I replied. Okay. You're cold, she said softly. I'm consistent. You drifted. I matched. That's not how this is supposed to go, she snapped, softness gone. I don't know what supposed to means here, I said. Let me save you some time. If you keep rationing conversation and closeness like I'm on probation until I fix your discomforts, this ends. If you want a partner, meet me like one. No barter. No tests. Her jaw tightened. So now you're threatening to end our marriage. I'm telling you my line, I replied. You know my style? I don't bluff. Her eyes searched my face. She saw it. The door behind me with a handle on my side. Okay, she said a minute later, voice small. I can try more. I'll make dinner tomorrow. Thanks, I answered. Noted. She stood. You could say you appreciate it. I'll say that when you show it, not when you announce it. She turned off the lamp and left me with the dark and a handful of facts that didn't need drama to be real. Dinner the next night was salmon and a salad I like. She put her hand on my arm twice. She laughed at something I said about a customer at work. She looked like the woman I married for a solid 40 minutes. Let's take a drive after, she suggested, clearing plates. Just us. Windows down. I rinsed my plate. Where? Anywhere. All right. We drove nowhere in particular, and it was almost peaceful. Then, when we stopped at a light, she rolled her head toward me. You know, she said lightly, if you surprised me with that spa weekend, it would go a long way. There it was again. The invoice attached to attention. I stared at the light and felt the answer settle in my bones. Rachel, I told her, I'm not paying tolls to cross a bridge we built together. You always ruin it. I always refuse to rent my place in my own life. She made a frustrated sound and took the next turn home. On Monday, I moved the conversation to my turf. At lunch, I drove to the bank and opened a personal account. I changed direct deposit to split. I set automatic payments for my half of the mortgage and utilities and canceled the joint card I pay in full every month. When I got home, I placed a printed sheet on the counter with the new layout. Household expenses, my portion, due dates. Clean. Not a fight. A system. That evening, she stared at the sheet. So you're making it transactional. I'm making it clear. I corrected. You want to collaborate, great. You want to operate solo, fine. Either way, the machine runs. What about our anniversary? She asked, as if the date itself could undo the ledger. What about it? I made a reservation. Where? She smirked. It's a surprise. That's cute. She tilted her head. Is that sarcasm? It's realism. You checked out for 3 weeks, and now I'm supposed to feast on a surprise? No. So you're not going? I didn't say that. She crossed her arms. You hesitate like you want me to beg. I hesitate like I don't celebrate bad treatment with a steak. You're so dramatic, she said again, running out of synonyms. No, I'm so done. She changed tactics the following days. She woke me early with a coffee and a little apology about being weird lately. She texted me midday pictures of a menu like we were planning together. She sent a voice note. I miss us. It was gentle, and it almost worked. Almost. Because the next day, next to the voice note, was a to-do list she sent me like an assistant. Fix the cracked tile, book her a haircut, call the landscaper, confirm the reservation. I clicked the voice note again, let it play, then looked at the list. Voice and invoice. It was a pattern now. Patterns don't lie. At work, Mike noticed my pace. You're moving like a guy building a new life, he joked, handing me a file. I'm closing out an old chapter. I answered. You bringing her to the team dinner next week? No, I won't be at that dinner either. That's not like you. I'm streamlining, I said. I'm removing obligations that exist because I couldn't say no earlier. You're not messing around. Nope. 2 days before the anniversary, she tried public theater. We were at Tessa's condo for a little get-together. Music low, conversations quiet, a polite crowd. Everyone. Rachel called, lifting her glass. Can we raise a toast to my husband? He's stubborn and structured and impossible sometimes, but he means well. We've had a rough patch, but we're going to have the best night Friday. Right, Eric? Heads turned. That's a neat trick. Use the crowd to lock me in. I looked around. Tessa's smile was earnest. A guy I didn't know gave me the come on, play along eyes. I set my glass down. I don't do promises on a microphone, I told the room. We handle our stuff privately. Enjoy the night. Rachel's face froze, then morphed into an injured look. Wow, she breathed. Tessa stepped closer later. Are you okay? She asked. I'm fine. Rachel's been off, she admitted. I thought maybe the toast would. I don't know, remind you both. I don't do reminders, I said. I do results. You're tough. I'm clear. Driving home, Rachel didn't speak. Neither did I. She slammed cabinets when we got home. I didn't slam anything. I set my alarm and slept. Thursday afternoon, I packed a small bag and put it in my truck. I didn't hide it. I put it on the passenger seat, obvious as a decision. I turned off calendar sharing. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb from 6 to 10 the next evening. I called Jake. You still got that cabin by the lake? I asked. Yep. Keys are in the lockbox. Go. The dock's yours. I owe you. You owe me a fish story. Deal. Friday morning, Rachel moved around the house like a director on a set. She laid out a shirt on the bed I hadn't asked for and placed shoes by the door. Wear this, she said, pointing at the shirt. I'll wear what I wear. Reservation is at 7. Don't be late. Noted. She was texting all afternoon. Her phone lit up the kitchen counter with names I didn't need to read. I showered after work, threw on jeans, grabbed my keys, and didn't touch the shirt she'd chosen. Where are you going? She asked when she heard the door. Away. For what? To not play your scene. Excuse me. You spent a month pretending I don't exist unless I'm useful. Tonight's your big closing argument. You want me on cue in a place you control with a script where I thank you for crumbs. I'm not auditioning. Her mouth opened. You're being cruel. No, I said, even voice. I'm being done. You can't do this, she whispered, fury under the whisper. People are waiting. I told everyone. That's the point. What point? That I don't perform for your guest list. You promised. I promised nothing. I corrected. I asked for respect. I didn't get it. I'm not celebrating that. She stepped close. If you walk out, don't come back. I looked at the bag in my truck through the window, then back at her. That's the cleanest thing you've said in a month. I left. The sun was still out. The drive to the lake was an hour and a half of silence I curated on purpose. I unlocked the cabin with the code Jake texted and set my bag down on the worn wood floor. I sat on the porch and watched the water do what water does, mind its business. At 7:12, my phone finally buzzed through the Do Not Disturb because she called 3 times in a row. Where are you? She demanded the moment I answered. Not coming, I said. Where? Where the hell are you? I don't celebrate disrespect. Silence. Then a sharp inhale like she'd been slapped by the obvious. You are unbelievable. No, I'm consistent. Good night, Rachel. You're going to regret this, she warned. I regret staying this long. I hung up. She called again. I turned the phone off. I ate a sandwich I made in the small kitchen. I slept like the cabin had drawn a line under my name. In the morning, I turned my phone on and found a stream of messages. You humiliated me. Everyone asked where you were. I had to lie. This is on you. We need to talk. Where are you? Are you coming home? I sent one reply. I'll pick up my tools Sunday and some clothes. Leave them in the garage. Don't be there. She called again. I let it go to voicemail. Then I texted Mike. Take me off next week's team dinner. He sent a thumbs up. I texted Jake a picture of the dock and a coffee cup. He wrote back, you look free. Sunday I pulled into my driveway at noon. My tools were lined up like evidence of a life. She'd placed 2 boxes of my clothes by the door with more care than she'd given me the last month. She came out before I could grab them. So that's it, she opened with, arms folded. That's it. You're just walking away? I'm ending a bad pattern. We had one bad month. No, I countered. We had a month where you showed me how you like to run things. You ration attention. You turn people into props. You make rules that change with your mood. I'm not living in that orbit. She scoffed. You're being dramatic again. I'm being decisive. Please. She reached for my sleeve and missed because I stepped back. Please don't do this. There's the word I asked for a month ago, I replied. It's late. We can fix it, she pleaded. I was testing if you would. I just wanted to feel taken care of. You've been so distant with your routines. I offered a dozen ways to connect without the toll. You wanted the toll. I didn't mean to push you away, she protested. But you did. Tessa pulled into the driveway then, because the world respects timing only when it can complicate it. She got out of her car and took in the boxes, my truck, our faces. Should I? She started. Stay, Rachel told her, then looked at me. We can talk with her here. She can help. No, I said. This is between us, and even then, it's really between me and my standards. Tessa stepped back, eyes on me, then on Rachel. He looks done, she whispered. Rachel's face crumpled and then smoothed out fast. You're throwing everything away, she tried again. I'm letting go of nothing I value. What do I tell people? She asked. The truth. I can't. That's your problem to solve, I said, loading the boxes. Tessa watched, then took a small step forward. Do you need help with the rest? I've got it, I told her. Rachel tried one last card. If you leave like this, you don't come back. I remember, I answered. You taught me that line. I closed the tailgate. Rachel stood there, all the comfort she'd been guarding with her distance, now looking like a coat she couldn't keep on. Tessa put an arm around her. I got in my truck. Eric, Rachel called. If you ever cared. I cared more than you noticed, I said through the window. Now I care about staying honest. I drove away, not fast. Speed looks like anger. This wasn't anger. This was order applied to a mess someone else kept pretending was art. People like to ask if there was a moment that made it clear. There was. It was her voice at 7:12 on our anniversary. Where are you? Like I was a package running late. And my answer, I don't celebrate disrespect, fit like a key in a lock. The door opened. I walked through. I took a short-term rental near the river. 1 bedroom, clean lines, a small balcony. I bought a used pickup that run like a dog that's grateful to be out of the pound. I moved my tools into Jake's back room with his blessing. I told Mike to expect me early, and he promoted me without making a speech. More responsibility, more pay, less nonsense. A month later, I met Lauren at a friend's cookout. She's a landscape designer with a laugh that lands like an approval you earned. We didn't rush. We walked. We ate. We spoke like 2 adults not trying to win points, but to learn facts. On a Sunday morning, she watched me repair a loose hinge and said, You're thorough. I told her, I like things that stay fixed. Rachel reached out twice after I left. The first time was a long message about memories and how she missed the safety of us. The second time was a short, sharp question about the mortgage and if I'd consider coming by to look at the water heater, which had started making a sound. I sent her the number of a plumber. It wasn't cruelty. It was honesty. I don't do unpaid labor in houses where I'm not respected. I heard from Clara that Rachel moved in with her sister for a while. Clara said it like she wasn't gossiping. I nodded and didn't add a word. The lawn at our old place went shaggy for a few weeks until someone came and trimmed it in a hurry. I recognized the pattern even from a distance. Appearances maintained when there's an audience. On a Thursday night at the shop, Jake asked the only question he cares about. "You good?" "Better than that," I told him, tightening a bolt. "I'm steady." He grinned. "We're grilling tomorrow. Bring Lauren if she's free." "I'll ask. If she says no, I'll go anyway." That's a healthy sentence. "Yeah," I said. "It is. If there's a moral here, it's not complicated. Adults aren't vending machines. You don't feed them attention nickels and expect dinners and weekends and repairs to drop out. Respect first. The rest works. Skip the respect, and you'll get exactly what you built, a stage with no actor." I kept my dignity. She kept her conditions. We both live with that, just with very different results. People hear the last line I said, "I don't celebrate disrespect," and think it was designed for impact. It wasn't. It was the only sentence left that told the truth without drawing blood. It closed a door I had unlocked the night I took my hand off the remote and refused to be background noise. When I drove away from the house with my gear in the back, I didn't look in the mirror to see who was chasing me. No one was. The chase was over. The only person I follow now is the one who looks back at me when I shave in a place where every good morning is mint and no one needs to audition for warmth.